Being ready for severe weather is an important part of the disability sector. Now, for the next couple of minutes, we're just going to go through some basics that every single service provider needs to be thinking of right now. Now, to think of the organization, the participant, and the staff responsibilities that we all have is a great way to chop up what we do need to be thinking about. So in terms of the organization, do you have a disaster and emergency plan? Do your staff know about this? Are they individualized to participants? Do you have a phone tree ready to go for emergencies like tradespeople, maintenance, window fixes, roof fixes, basic building fixes, water management, equipment and cleaning contacts, because when water goes off, it creates health problems very quickly. Plan a check-in system for all sites, even if it's just a call. Don't expect staff to call you. Make sure you're checking in on those staff and help them make decisions. Step back as an on-call and help make decisions. Don't put the pressure all on the staff. It is your job to meet obligations to staff and participants. Expect high anxiety, moods, disruption to routines, prepare sites with activities, distractions, resources. Be proactive with participants that have intellectual disabilities and talk through and explain what's happening. You may need some visual aids and some resources to help. Stock up on your PPE and personal items for participants as well as staff. And of course, prepare for the worst, but of course, hope for the best. Contact local police and emergency services and make sure if they can flag your site that they have all the correct details and everything's up to date. What staff live closest? Now, when we look at staff and HR, think about changing your rosters now. Have staff that live closest to participants ready to go and rostered on right now. Don't expect staff to travel long distances when we have severe weather. We don't want people driving through water. We want to reduce the risks on staff getting into accidents, being delayed, or not being able to turn up for shifts. What staff have availability and less commitments than others? For example, my staff that live 10 minutes away with no pets or family may put up their hand to cover some emergency shifts. If staff living on acreage in flood areas with lots of animals find themselves stuck at home and needing to manage emergencies. Some sites get locked off by floods and damage, so if there's a high likelihood of this occurring, create a roster now with staff that are prepared for longer shifts if they get stuck. Make sure to remind staff and participants to keep mobile phones charged, have mobile battery banks ready there for their mobiles, because if the power goes out, mobiles may be the only way to communicate with people. Remind staff to add additional clothes and food to their packs. Remind staff to plan transport and risks for flooding and poor weather between home and work. Now, for participants, know who is in the flood zones. Don't just plan for physical risks and logistics though. Think about the psychosocial support needs, behavior, anxiety, emotional supports. They're a major focus. Keep the tone calm, but of course focus on what needs to be done and when. Have evacuation plans and locations to go to. Don't just rely on hotels and motels, because everyone else in Brisbane is doing the exact same thing. Get medication and scripts filled right now ahead of time. Stock up on continence aids, products like Ensure and food. Relocate early if there's a high likelihood of flooding. Don't wait until it's too late. Have evacuation plans that are practical and doable. People using wheelchairs, breathing and suction machines that require special bedding, hoists, will need batteries, and they'll need equipment evacuated as well as the person. When taking equipment, remember to take the charges for the batteries. Prepare bags and resources. Have a go bag ready right now at the door or ready in the car. Pre-charge batteries and assume the power is going to go out at some point. Plenty of places have torches, but think about it. At nighttime, if the torches are all you've got for light, have you got any of those cool little solar powered lights in the garden that you get from Bunnings? Go grab them and bring them in, because they pump out a lot of light and they can save your torches. Stock up, but don't buy 200 toilet rolls. Leave some for the rest of the community. It's not the zombie apocalypse. We've only got to live for a little while, but be sensible. Check in with neighbours. Make sure you know who's around you. Ask for their contact details. Make sure everyone can contact each other. Tap into local knowledge. Ask those long-term residents what the place has been like last time they had severe weather. Assume ambulance and emergency services will be busy, and plan ahead to avoid needing to rely too much on external services unless absolutely necessary. Everyone stay safe. I'm looking forward to seeing everyone in a few weeks' time at Queensland's biggest disability event, of course, at the Convention Centre, March 21-22. Stay safe, Brisbane.